Redemption's Hill. This video is to announce our upcoming Leadership Lab that will be taking place on December 11th. That's a Sunday. The timing for that is going to be shortly after church from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. That'll give you some time to get out and get some food and then come back for that training. Our goal in this is to equip and build up the whole of the church. The topic of this Leadership Lab will be prayer and fasting. The previous Leadership Lab that we put on was the discipleship class that was presented by Tim Gray, and we've gotten a lot of good feedback for that, and we'd like to continue these ongoing. For this Leadership Lab, if you have children and would like to attend, we're going to try to provide childcare, so please let us know if you are interested and have children that would need to be watched by a sitter. The church would like to provide the sitter and pay for that as well, but please let us know so that we can have that procured ahead of time. If you're interested, please sign up at the front table. We'll have a sign-up sheet there for you. These types of leadership and development labs that we will be doing from here forward are for the whole of the church. In the past, we have done a preaching cohort for men, preparing them to be able to preach and lead. We want to provide this for not just men, but women as well, so this is for everybody.
We are excited about this Leadership Lab coming up with the topic of prayer and fasting. That topic is one that is pretty focused. It goes along with the book of Philippians that we're preaching through right now. In Philippians, we've seen this call from Paul to rely on Christ regularly, to be sustained by Him, to go to Him for our daily needs, to work out the gospel in our lives, to work out our salvation with fear and trembling. And a major part of growing and relying on Christ and working out our faith is going to be prayer. That's a major way that we bring our heart before God, asking Him to keep working. The soul work that He's doing inside, we're asking Him to bring it out, to see His will done more. We're glorifying Him, so it's just a bringing of our heart before Him. So this fits really well with the topic that we're going through right now. The majority of the time of this Leadership Lab actually will be devoted to the fasting portion. It's a widely overlooked and forgotten discipline in the church. And that's interesting, thinking of Jesus assumes that you and I, if we are believers, will fast. He said in His words, when you fast, to His disciples, which means He didn't say, well, if you decide that it's relevant or something that you should do, if you decide that you would like to fast, He didn't say that. He goes, when you fast, which means it's a needed component inside the church and a needed component in our lives. After Jesus taught on that, also we see that Jesus Himself devoted time to fasting, and so did His disciples. If that's true, if Jesus assumes that we are going to do that and wants us to do that and says, hey, you're going to need to do that to be strengthened, we want to carve out a little time to talk about that. So in the fasting portion, we aim to talk about what is fasting, like what does it mean to fast, what types of fasting are in the Bible, because there are whole fasts and not whole fasts, and the lengths of time are very different depending on who is doing in them. We want to talk about why someone would actually fast, what is good reasons to fast. We want to talk about whether a fast should be done individually or corporately with a group of people. And then we actually want to talk about the nuts and bolts of theologically, why do we fast, and what does it do in our hearts, what does it do in our soul, what is it accomplishing when we go to God in fasting. So we want to talk through all of those elements. We want to give some time to hear your feedback, to hear your questions, to try and answer real world questions that you have, instead of just teaching you what we want you to know. We would like to have a dialogue in that as well. So we are excited about that. We're excited about being built up with you, and we hope to do several more of these Leadership Labs, hopefully several a year. With that being said, if there are things that you would like to be built up in or equipped with, please come talk to me or Blake or Garrett, and let us know some of the things that you would like to be just built up in, and we can look at that and see if that's one of the next things that we will have a Leadership Lab on. So RSVP when you can. Just let us know how many people are going to be there, and we'd love for you to be a part and just have this be the next way that we grow together as the church to serve Christ in the city that we live in. So we love you, and we'll see you soon.